Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the deal that came across in Congress, and my little buddy here, the turtle, is going to help us talk about stuff. Okay, no he's not, but we're going to talk about the deal. The deal that came across Congress a few days ago. It's Thursday now, so if I miss anything, it's because it's Thursday. It's not Friday when this video is supposed to go up. So, we're going to talk about this deal here. 2.4 trillion reduction in deficit over a 10-year period. Over a 10-year period. 10 years. 10 years. It's a long time, guys. Just a long time. And it increases the deficit. Yeah. It increases the debt ceiling by the same amount. And it basically allows the government to pay off its debts throughout 2012. Yeah. So the first stage of this includes a 917 billion spending cuts, and then an increase in the debt ceiling by the same amount, 900 billion. And then the second stage is the creation of a joint committees of Congress, where my little buddy the turtle here probably will join, but because he's a super turtle. No. So the people are calling this a super Congress. A super Congress is just basically two committees. Both of them have 6 people in it, split by political parties. So 3 Democrats, 3 Republicans. Let's see how that goes, because yeah, there's gonna be a lot of arguments. These committees will also recommend a further deficit reduction, steps totaling 1.5 trillion. Yeah, or more by the end of November. With the Congress, the vote with everything, policies that for policies on the panel for probably by the end of this year. And yeah, this is basically about the deal. And so next would be the deficit and our debt, our national debt. 14 trillion. That's our national debt, you guys. That's how much we owe to a bunch of different countries. Our government doesn't make that much. Those of you that seen the news recently, Apple now has $2 billion more than our federal government. Yeah, a company that owes more than the government, or that has more than the government, something going on there. So, out of that, government pretty much gets all the money from our taxes. You might have heard that there's some talks about who to tax, what to tax, and when to tax. My honest opinion for right now is we need to tax now, and some people don't like to tax the rich, but honestly, if you're gonna have that kind of thing, you gotta tax everybody. That means the rich, and as well as the middle class. This thing is, you don't have to tax the middle class more than you do the rich. You have to tax the rich more and then cover up all the loopholes that they have. Okay, but that's something about taxes. Our expenses, just in case you didn't know, matches how much we make, and so pretty much we're breaking even on our taxes. I mean on our debt. Our deficit is added 1.4 trillion up to the national debt every year. Every year we owe 1.4 trillion more than. So it's just increasingly adding to it. The government spends usually on national security, like the military, social security, and Medicare. Those are the three main points that they spend on, and then everything else is counted into another category. I believe I'm about to post up this graph about right here, and you'll see that the other is like what we spend on most, but that's breaking down into different categories. And those different categories are like education and whatnot. Those of you that listen to politics a lot, some say cut education. Kids, yeah, go ahead, cut education. That's only like 0.9 of what we spend on that category, so that's good. Taking a phone call here. Sorry guys, I had to take that call. So we were at, I believe I left off somewhere in education spending. So when you spend only 0.9 on education, it's like all we spend on, you wanna cut the one that we spend the least. No. Okay. So when we talk about spending, the three major things they spend on: Social Security, Medicare, and the military. Honestly, if you want to do some cuts on something, you're gonna probably cut mostly on military spending. I'm a Republican, by the way, guys, in case you guys didn't know, but I'm more of a moderate Republican. I can go to both sides if I need to, but I'm labeled as a Republican. And I don't believe we should spend so much on our military. Those of you that may know, but we have the largest military in the world. Yes, we do. Our old rivals was Russia, but look at them. They spent most of their money, if not all of them, on the military production, and they collapsed. Also might help because they were communists and not capitalists, but let's go a different way. Military spending, we should cut at least a little bit more on that. Medicare, we shouldn't pay so much, but there's also those things. What do you care about the most? You want to help the old, then go ahead and spend more, but if you spend that much, come on, just cut a little bit. We can all take a little break. Basically, it's estimated that we're gonna owe like 21 trillion in, I think, 2020. 2020 will owe $21 trillion, and that is with this new deal. Then, because if it wasn't the deal, then we'd owe 23 trillion. 2 trillion difference. Good job, you stopped an apocalypse from happening. No, you didn't. You stopped nothing. You literally just let us dig a deeper hole and just gave us a smaller shovel. So basically that's about it with that deal and the deficit. Those of you that don't know about the deficit, if you check out any of the graphs recently, we don't owe as much as we used to. We just don't tax as much anymore. Those of you guys didn't know, during the Bill Clinton administration, we actually had a surplus, and that means we had a lot more money than we spent. So if we have more money than we spend, then we have extra to throw around. And then we started spending more, and then Bush came and started taxing less, and that lowered our supply, and now we're low, and now we don't have enough, and now we have a deficit. To analyze this whole thing for you guys, the deal, 2.4 trillion reduction over 10 years. Yeah, okay, good job, guys. And then the debt ceiling, same amount. Okay, sure, why not? And then all the things we spend on. Washington, I have no idea what you're doing. Guys, be aware that when you watch the news, like blah 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 news, and the letters that come up sometimes, capital blah blah blah, don't want to talk about some of the news, don't want to trash them or nothing, but don't always buy into them. They're just there for your entertainment, and they don't always give you the straight up news. They always give you a false example, or they make it out of proportion. Just try to be aware when you watch some stuff like that. Better off if you go to one of those sites that doesn't have a political tie, something that is straight up and just tells you boring stuff. So if you want to read through those, go ahead. If you want to listen to more of my videos that I will be posting later on, go ahead and like the page, subscribe the page. Like it'll have a yellow color like this shirt right here that I've worn 2 days ago whenever I posted my last video. Or you can like the bottom, watch later. Show you my finger, watch later. Maybe subscribe. Maybe share. Maybe like page. Maybe do stuff. Okay guys, see you later. I also forgot to add, guys, my friends Alex and Kyla are going to be helping me out with some of these videos. So they're going to be posted on the same channel. Whenever they are able to make one and record one, I'll just view it and see everything's politically correct, because I don't want you guys to get on our you-know-whats. I'm going to go ahead and post these videos onto the same channel, and hopefully you guys like what they post and what they say. If you don't get harsh and mean and angry. Sad face. Tear. Okay guys. Remember, like, subscribe, comments, opinions, constructive criticisms. Not that you guys suck. You got know what you're talking about. I don't want none of that. Okay guys, see you later.